supports his airstrikes and Egypt's war against terrorism. Cameron stressed that this accident demonstrated that terrorism had no religion or homeland. It is just driven by malicious tendencies and extremist ideas which need to be addressed through concerted international efforts until eradication of terrorist phenomenon. So how do you read international reactions to this crime?
Of course, a lot of countries have condemned what's happened. Even Turkey actually have condemned it.
Yeah.
So, of course, no one can actually sympathize with those terrorists.
Yeah.
We are all, of course, sympathized with the people who were killed, with their families, and we have to give our condolences to their families. It's a tragic
accident, yes.
Tragic accidents and a barbarian accidents from those terrorists. It's not only the Prime Minister of UK, but also the President of the French President. A lot of others have the Prime Minister, the Italian Prime Minister. A lot have phoned President Sisi and gave their condolences. All over the world, there were statements coming out to condemn what happened from the United States, from all over other countries, all over the world. As I said, no one can sympathize with what happened with those killers and terrorists and barbarians.
Okay, moving to Al-Masri Al-Yom newspaper, and we read El-Sisi witnesses Rafale deal between Egypt and France. President Al-Fattah al-Sisi witnessed the signing ceremony of warplanes deal between Egypt and France. France on Monday signed its first export contract for the fighter jets, with Egypt agreeing to buy 24 of the warplanes. The chief executive officer of France's Dassault Aviation signed the multi-billion-euro contract at Presidential Palace in Cairo in the presence of President Al-Fattah al-Sisi and the French defense minister. Actually, some analysts are relating the recent crime to this contract. So how do you see this?
No, I think this was negotiated 4 months ago, I think. So it's very important, of course. We are not depending only on the United States now for airplanes, for the Apache. We had a problem with them concerning this. For others, we are trying to get other sources for the weapons and the airplanes in our army, France, Russia. Maybe you are also having some deals with China. So this are very important. So it gives a very good message to all over the world. We are not depending 100% as we used to be on the United States of America.
Okay, and still with Al-Masri Al-Yom newspaper, and we read Egypt's army forces deployed nationwide for security and protection. Egypt's armed forces announced late Monday the deployment of its forces in all governorates nationwide to protect public and private properties, secure roads, and contribute to the capture of criminals and outlaws. Armed Forces spokesman Mohammed Samir said in statement that the deployment comes to carry out the decision of Egypt's National Defense Council in regards to protecting the state's vital facilities. So why is it important now for the army to be deployed in the country?
We are in a war. We are in a state of war now against terrorists and terrorism, and we need to be secured. Of course, you can't, in this state, depend only on the Interior Ministry. You need also the army to secure the vital places and the important places in Egypt. So I think this is very important. It gives us a hint that the war is coming. We are not going to just have some minor actions, because terrorists are not going to stay calm. They are going to come back and back and back again. They want to get us and drag us to Libya, which is actually, as I see, a place where we can lose a lot, as what happened in the 60s in Yemen. So we need, first of all, to secure the insides.
Yes.
And then we can decide what we are going to do internationally wise, because it's not only the war of Egypt, it's the war of the whole world against terrorists and terrorism. And they need, all the world need to help us in this. It's not Egypt who are going to have only airstrikes on terrorism, on terrorists in Libya, and just the whole world are going to watch us and leave us alone. It's not, they are going to be affected, and all the interests of the whole world are going to be affected.
Actually, the Arab League chief yesterday called for the Arab countries to activate their joint defense agreement.
Yes, I think there will be, this is a very important point, there will be in the next Arab League summit in Egypt in March, there will be, I think, a decision, as I understand, to have an Arab forces to interfere if there is a problem. It's going to be, this is the first thing that happens. After what happened in Kuwait. It was an international, after the invasion, Iraq invaded Kuwait, it was an international coalition actually, but now we need Arab forces to interfere if there is a problem, to have a quick interference so that they can secure the Arab countries.
Okay, and back to Al-Ahram newspaper and some economic news. Egypt's unemployment slows to Q4 2014 to 12.9%. Egypt's unemployment rate shrank slightly in the fourth quarter of 2014 to 12.9% from 13.1% in the prior quarter, according to Egyptian statistics body CAPMAS. According to CAPMAS, there are 3.7 million Egyptians nationwide who are looking for jobs but cannot find one. The country's labor force totals 27.7 million people. Around 63% of unemployed people are aged between 15 and 29. 67% hold diplomas and higher education certificates. How do you see this report?
Well, it gives us some hope.
Yes.
Actually, it gives us some hope. Unemployment is a very important problem we have in Egypt, especially for the young people.
Yeah.
Of course, the conference that we are heading for in March, the economic summit, very important, because if we can actually gain some investments, huge investments in Egypt, this means that we are going to stand again on our feet economically wise, on our foot. This is very important. The conference, as President Sisi have said, it's our right hand that we're going to lean on it so that we can stand on our foot again. It's very important. And it will, maybe if this conference succeeded, we will read next year, if we are still living, we are going to read that unemployment rate is going to decrease.
Actually, we have so many mega projects which they can work, but we hope that we reach the economic conference safely.
No, we were going to reach. Egypt is going to win. We need hope.
Yes.
We need hope for us, for the young people in our future. This is very important. You know, the 25th January revolution was because there was no hope.
Yes.
The first aim was it because there was no hope. The young people was fed up.
Yes.
You know, and we were fed up also because of a lot of maybe some points. Corruption was the main thing actually, because it gives people, at that time, it gave people no hope, the feeling of no hope. Now we have hope in Egypt's future, and we need to actually stand and say there is hope, we are going to win. We need to be
united.
We need to be optimistic. It's of course
united.
We need to be united. We need to be optimistic about our future in Egypt. This is very important. People should be optimistic about our future. If we are pessimistic, if we think there is no hope, then it stands. We are not going to do anything. No, we need to have hope in Egypt. And this conference is very important. And as I have said, the unemployment rate is going to decrease next year.
Actually, the timing of this crime is meant to hinder Egypt from its roadmap, and this is very obvious.
They are doing everything they can.
Yes.
They are doing everything they
ahead
can.
of parliamentary elections and the economic
conference. The main
conference.
aim of what's happening in the whole region, or if it's a conspiracy theory again, is to make the whole region except Israel weak, divided,
this is very obvious now.
Fighting with each other,
no
military. Egypt is the only country which is standing
and the only strong army till now.
Yes, so they are trying to drag us to lose our army and to lose ourselves. We need to stand and say we are wiser than this.
And still with Al-Ahram newspaper, and we read Egypt signs petroleum deal with Cyprus. Egypt and Cyprus have signed a memorandum of understanding on energy cooperation and aim to reach a deal on Egyptian imports of Cypriot gas in 6 months. Cyprus discovered natural gas offshore in late 2011, while once gas reached Egypt has turned into net importer from an exporter due to increasing consumption and declining production. Monday signing by Egyptian Oil Minister Sharif Ismail and Cypriot Energy Minister would further promote cooperation that would help Egypt meet its energy needs and export its gas. So how do you see the cooperation between the two countries in this field?
It's important. There was rumors that Cyprus have taken some
Yeah.
Egyptian gas from the Mediterranean, but Egypt and Cyprus have an agreement. They have denied this rumor, and now with this agreement again, it's very important to import actually from Cyprus. Cyprus is a very good country and have good relations with Egypt now.
Okay, Mrs. Suzy Genidy, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you and have a good morning, please.
And now we'll go for a show break, and we'll resume the breakfast show, and then we'll have an important report about the memorandum of understanding that was signed between the oil minister Sharif Ismail and the Cypriot energy minister. So stay tuned.